Toronto Blue Jays just sent a serious message as they come out following back-to-back wins over the past couple days in comeback fashion and sent a message to the MLB once again on the back of Chris Bassitt as well as one particular player. We're going to break down exactly who that is and discuss what this means going forward. But before we get into it, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. If you're enjoying it and you're happy the Jays are on a bit of a winning streak here to begin May, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, what a game for the Toronto Blue Jays. And once again, the Jays come out following back-to-back comeback wins. One comeback down 6-0 and then another one down 2-1. They come out against a new team now, the Cleveland Guardians, and take care of business. But the story of today's game was one particular player who we'll dive into in a little bit. But let's dive right into the game. What a fantastic piece of, just display of baseball by the Toronto Blue Jays. And it's at a point now where the offense is slowly starting to come along. The pitching is continuing and redialing back in over a little bit of an iffy stretch. The bullpen's absolutely nails. And Nathan Lucas, so it was a bit of a spoiler there about who I'm going to be talking about. But let's start from the top. Bichette went hitless today. Unfortunate, game for him. It is what it is. Vladdy, 2 for 4. He continues to swing the bat well, increasing his average. His average up 275 now. Santander, hitless. And in a game where Bo and Anthony Santander went hitless, that's a good sign that you still win the game and put up a 5-piece. George Springer continues to be the Jays' best hitter. He went 1 for 1 with 2 walks, a homer, a huge stolen base as well for George Springer. Ultimately, this was he is playing really, really good baseball. Really good baseball. His average up to 314, just fantastic. Alejandro Kirk, and I'm going to be talking about Nathan Lucas a lot in this video. Alejandro Kirk has turned into, over the past few games, the Jays' best hitter. His average is up to 260, and if you've been following the Jays, all year, he was really bad. Every time he was coming up, you think, hey, guaranteed out. He'd be coming up with bases loaded. So many times we lost count, guaranteed out. All these different things, but guess what happened in tonight's game and over the past since that losing streak came to an end? He went 3 for 4. One of them was a pretty clutch hit, but it was like a bloop hit. And then he got pinch ran for. He ultimately ended up, Dalton Varsho, the guy who pinch ran for Alejandro Kirk, ultimately ended up scoring, a clutch insurance run, I guess. The go-ahead as well was, before him. Just a fantastic game for Alejandro Kirk. And if he can start, he's starting to hit line drives now. He's starting to hit bloopers. We're starting to see some luck come in from Alejandro Kirk. I've been saying it all along. I feel like a broken record saying it in these wins. Like, if the offense can slowly get going, the Jays are going to be in very good shape. They have an elite bullpen, especially back end. They have a very solid to elite pitching staff starting rotation. With Max Scherzer on the brink of a return, we're hoping everything is starting to line up. And they're undefeated in the Dalton Varsho era. He is just a winning, well, at least undefeated over the past, 3 games with Dalton Varsho in the lineup. He is just a winning player. That is what he does. He comes in, he elevates everybody else. And of course, he didn't even start the game tonight and didn't even get an at-bat, and he still managed to make, help the Jays win to a degree. Obviously scored on a huge single from Nathan Lucas. Addison Barger, 0 for 4, a bit of a rough game for him. He's an interesting case because with Addison Barger, you're going to keep giving him reps because he has some of the fastest bat speed in the MLB. He has all the great peripherals, but he can't hit. Like, he can't make contact. That's actually, if he hits it, it's hard usually, but he hasn't been able to make enough contact. They're going to keep throwing him out there, and hopefully he can figure it out. Same with, guys like Alan Rodin. They're going to keep throwing him out there. That's the way it is. Ernie Clement, 0 for 4. Miles Straw, 0 for 2. Andres Jimenez, 2 for 4. Good game for Andres Jimenez. But a lot of 0-fers. They only had 9 hits on the night, but they put up 5 runs. And we've seen so many times, even this season, where you put up 9, 10 hits and you score 2, 3 runs. You put up a fantastic, 5-run performance in tonight's game, winning 5-3. And that's on the back of Nathan Lucas coming off of yesterday's game where he also, over the past couple games, he had a game-winning hit. After that game-winning hit yesterday, he comes out again and gets a huge game-winning hit in this game. He went 1 for 2 coming in for Miles Straw, a huge single. Now, of course, in the bottom of the 8th inning, it was an interesting, scenario. The Jays have first and third after Alejandro Kirk with first and third with 1 out or less. You have to be able, right? You have to be able to score the run. Of course, it started, and then an unfortunate out from Addison Barger. He popped out. An unfortunate out from Ernie Clement. So it was first and third with 0 outs, and then you get 2 outs from Barger and Clement. And Clement popped out to left field. Addison Barger, an unfortunate go as well. He also popped out. Unfortunate. So you're thinking, okay, you had a chance to go up in the 8th with, Jeff Hoffman rested after not playing yesterday. Nathan Lucas is up with a man on second and third, and they tried to do a safety squeeze with Clement, and he missed because it was a slider, but Varsho's still second on the play. Nathan Lucas comes up and hits a clutch line drive single to score 2 runs to put them up 5-3. Drove in both. The steal by Dalton Varsho paid off. They managed to score 2 runs. And man, oh man, was it absolutely electric in the Rogers Center. And we're starting to hear let's go Jays chants there with Jeff Hoffman. We'll dive into him in a minute. A huge game for Nathan Lucas, and he's going to be the one who stays up. We know in the last season we saw he is a good hitter versus right-handed pitching. There's no doubt about it. It's just the way that he is. He started off this season. He's a 30-year-old veteran, right? Not a veteran in the sense of a lot of games, but he's been around baseball and professional baseball for a while. And one of the things with that, and that comes with that, is being able to score being able to make the smart plays, right? You had to be able to make the smart plays. And guess what he hasn't been doing this season? Making the smart plays, whether that's getting caught in the bases, whatever. And he hasn't been hitting. He's finally started to hit. He's making smart plays. His OPS in the 700s now, which is absurd. Clutch RBI. And I got to give some credit to him as well. He's hitting 363 over his last 10 games and OPS over 1,000. Shout out to the Jays for not DFAing him. I thought once Varsho came back, there was no need for him. I was completely wrong, and I'll take that one on the chin. I want to give some credit to Chris Bassett. These outings by the Jays pitching staff is absolutely perfect. They're playing fantastic baseball. That is what's happening right now. José Berríos against one of the best offenses in baseball in the Boston Red Sox. He goes, 5 2/3, gave up 2 or 3 runs. Bassett, 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs. Didn't have his best stuff, gave up 7 hits, gave up 2 homers, but he limited damage. And then you let it up for the bullpen. Chad Green, solid. He's been a little bit iffy this year, but solid. Brendon Little, absolutely nasty. One of the nastiest. You could argue he's the nastiest reliever in baseball. He's the 100th percentile in whiff rate. And then Jeff Hoffman, of course, did an update here. He finished. It was scary, man, on second and third with 2 outs, but he got the job done with the one. He had 1 strikeout as well. So Jeff Hoffman is a very, having Jeff Hoffman on the team, and there's so many things to go over, but having Jeff Hoffman on the team, unlike Jordan Romano, where, tonight, this was Jeff Hoffman's probably worst save attempt of the year. He had a runner at second and third, 2 runners in scoring position. The tying run at second base with 2 outs because Stephen Kwan hit a double down the left field line after Addison Barger almost caught it to end the game on a foul tip. The game before, the pitch before, or foul ball to the right field. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Hoffman, having a closer that you feel is dominant. Even when there was a man on second and third, you're thinking, okay, he has some of the best stuff in baseball. We're fully confident here. It feels like night and day. And that's nothing against Jordan Romano, who struggled mightily with the Phillies. It's a shout out and testament to this front office. They have done a fantastic job with this team, with at least the bullpen. Now, the team still needs some work. They need to look externally for hitters and things like that. We'll have a video coming on that tomorrow morning. Jeff Hoffman is dominant. And even in games where he doesn't have his best stuff, his command was a little bit off, his first non-intentional walk of the year wavered a little bit. Fantastic. Brendon Little, the best strikeout stuff in baseball. Fantastic. Your starting pitching staff, fantastic. Again, he is disgusting, 100th percentile whiff percentage. And you have the hitters now slowly starting to figure it out. And on a game where Bo and Vladdy don't play their A-plus game, and even Santander, especially, you win the game. And that's what happens with a winning ball club. The Jays are back to 500. It finally happened. And we're going to keep you up to date, ladies and gentlemen, all season long. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just hopefully the beginning of a long winning streak. Cheers.